What is up, you guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So, as you can tell by the title of this video and the view, today's video is going to be a little bit different. So, a couple weeks ago over in the community tab, I asked you guys if you'd want to see a plant unboxing from Planterina.com, and the overwhelming majority said yes. So, I ordered those plants, and I've done that before from Planterina.com. I love them, but because of the crazy weather we've been having, wicked cold temperatures, crazy snowstorms, the package got delayed and delayed. So as soon as it got here, I just needed to open it as quick as I could and start rehabbing those plants to make sure they didn't die. So because I didn't get to do that video, I figured I would just show you guys a couple of the plants that I picked up within the last month, what I like about them, what they are, where I got them, all of that fun stuff. So hopefully that sounds like something you guys are into, and if it is, let's get started. Okay, so I don't really know where to start. I guess, I'm not going to do this in any particular order because I love them all so much for many different reasons, but I guess let's just start with the ones in the back just to get them out of the way. So you can see I've already taken them out of their nursery pots. These ones are a little bit older. You don't want to take home a fresh plant and repot it right away. The only time you need to repot a plant is if it needs to be repotted. So right here we've got a beautiful Philodendron Micans. Now this plant has a wicked cool, almost velvety, definitely velvety texture, and it's got those awesome red vines and red underneath of the leaves. So again, this is Philodendron Micans, such a cool plant, and this one's going to get big, hangy. I'm going to definitely water propagate a ton of these. That way I have a huge, super fluffy Philodendron Micans. It looks so, so cool. And again, this is a philodendron. This is going to be super easy to take care of, but it's just a little bit more special than your basic plant because it's got those awesome velvety textured leaves and that red coloring. Let me get this light back here. Hopefully you guys can see that a bit better now. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful velvet leaves and that wicked cool coloring. It's just that little bit of extra something to make it look cool. It reminds me of the Philodendron Brazil. Absolutely love it. I've got a beautiful Philodendron Brazil out in my living room, but so pretty. Those velvety leaves are just so cool. Can't wait to see this guy really fluff out in this spring. So Philodendron Micans, #1. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna stand up for this video. That way I can keep bringing them in closer to you guys and really show you up close. So next up, we've got Snow Queen Pothos. I love this plant. So I was trying to pick between the Snow Queen and the Marble Queen. Those are two different plants. So you can have the Snow Queen Pothos or the Marble Queen. And the Marble Queen Pothos is going to have a lot more, I'd say, even variegation. So the Snow Queen, you can see, has a lot of that white, beautiful, very distinct variation or variegation within the leaves. The Marble Queen, I'd say, is more half and half, more half green, half white. The Snow Queen is going to really have some of those beautiful white looking, very lightly speckled leaves. Absolutely love it. Again, Snow Queen Pothos, super easy to take care of. Just obviously pay attention to where you're putting this as far as lighting because you want to keep that beautiful variegation. So cool looking, super easy to take care of, and super affordable. All right, next up, Ruby Ficus. So this is definitely a plant you don't want to leave in a darker area. Again, you want to keep that beautiful coloring within the plant. This is going to like a lot of bright indirect light. And just like Planterina says herself, all plants want bright light. Not all plants want direct light, that's for sure. You can burn the leaves, etc. But most plants want bright indirect light. So while a lot of plants or some plants can be tolerant of lower lights, like some of the plants we're going to talk about in a minute, all of them want brighter light. So again, Ruby Ficus, absolutely beautiful plant. Love this pink coloring on the outside. You've got to pay attention to where you put this guy, just so you can have the best type of variegation, best type of coloring that we've got on here. But yeah, always do your research before and after you take a plant home. This is the Ruby Ficus, so pretty. Okay, so for the sake of the video, we're gonna call this the Calathia triostar. So when I picked this plant up, it was not in good shape. And I know some people can really struggle with this plant, but when I went into the shop, I knew in my mind I wanted the triostar. I wanted it bad. So even though I saw this one that was definitely struggling, I still picked it up, and I'm kind of in the middle of bringing it back to life right now, just slowly trimming off where I can and just really paying attention to the humidity, washing the plants, making sure it's getting watered when it needs to be watered, and just doing whatever I can to try to bring this guy back to life, because the triostar Calathea can be an absolutely stunning plant. So like you can see, underneath the leaves are this beautiful, beautiful bright pink maroon coloring. And then on the top, you're gonna have these green and white variegated leaves. So you can see, especially right here, the variegation isn't green and white. It's very much green and yellow, and it's not looking super happy. So I'm hoping within the next month or two, this thing will be a lot happier when it's got a little bit more attention. So I'm super excited to have one. It's definitely not looking its best, but it was not looking its best when I picked it up. It's already got a little bit better for sure now that I've got it some closer attention. But pop up a picture of what this thing should really look like over here. But yeah, she's definitely doing better than she was even a week ago, even 2 weeks ago. But I absolutely love the triostar. Super, super cool looking plant. I think it's definitely in a pot that's way too big. That's, I'm sure, not helping the situation, but you can see they definitely trimmed away a ton at this plant. So I'm sure a ton of leaves have already died off. It wasn't doing the best. So I'll keep you guys updated on the triostar. Hopefully I can bring this thing back to life and get it looking how it actually should be. But the triostar Calathea. All right, so let me show you what I ordered from Planterina. So these are the two I ordered from Planterina. Let's start with the red Maranta. So again, the red Maranta, they were definitely put through it in shipping. It was super, super cold out. Of course, I got the cold weather packaging, and she is looking okay. She's definitely looking better than she was, again, a week ago, but I'm not super, super thrilled with her just yet. It is an absolutely beautiful plant, and again, they are kind of easy to take care of. Again, just do your research. All it takes is Google to tell you everything you need to know about a plant and a little bit of experience. So I'll show you some Calatheas in a minute that I wouldn't recommend for a beginner, but as long as you have the time, the dedication, and the information is out there. With the age that we're in now, 2022, all of the information that we need for anything and everything is available. So just do your research, and you can take care of any plant as long as you have the financial means and the time to do it. So this is the red Maranta. I wanted to start with the red Maranta because my dad had picked up one of these, and it is looking incredible. And he's got it in kind of maybe a medium light to lower light room, and it is loving life. So I'm super excited to have this. I can't wait to see this thing double in size within the next, I don't know, probably 6 months. His is growing like a weed. So this is the red Maranta. So it's got this crazy dark green on the middle. It's got lime green down the center, red on the veins, and red underneath. It looks so friggin' cool. Like, how is that even a plant? How is that a plant? Tell me not, right? Isn't that nuts? The red Maranta looks so neat. But yeah, this is one that I got from Planterina. Okay, this is the next one I got from Planterina. And you guys, if you know this plant, you'll recognize it right away. Absolutely stunning. The Ctenanthe Burle-marxii, or Calathea, or Calathea fishbone, prayer plant, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely stunning, stunning plant. So beautiful, but this is another one that of course is going to need humidity. I've got lots of things taken care of in controlling the humidity for all of these plants, but this thing is just absolutely stunning. How this thing is a real living plant, I don't know. Look at these leaves. But again, this is the one that got shipped, so I'm not super, super thrilled with how it looks, but I am okay with it. She's looking a lot better than she did when she first came in. We've got lots of new growth coming through, so I'm not super, super pissed, but we'll see how she does within the next month or so. But she's got these beautiful, beautiful variegated leaves. I'm sure you guys can already tell I love the very distinct variegated leaves on most of my plants. And again, it's got this beautiful burgundy color underneath the leaves. You guys can see that okay? Absolutely stunning. Looks like a feather, fishbone, whatever you want to call it. Just such a unique looking plant. So beautiful, so, so beautiful. Again, just Google, do your research, and realistically, you guys can take care of any plant. I mean, there's one plant that I've got coming up that I would not suggest for a beginner, but for all of the other plants, you guys can handle it. Just do your research, pay attention, give it what it needs, and it's gonna survive, you know what I mean? Absolutely stunning plant. Ctenanthe Burle-marxii, beautiful, beautiful prayer plant. So pretty and just so unique. All right, next up, let's talk about the Begonia. So this is Begonia Brevirimosa Exotica. So this is definitely not a pet-friendly plant. It's an absolutely stunning plant. So you can see it's got this green and bright pink, vivid variegation on the leaves, but it's got this beautiful pink and green both underneath the leaves and on top. So on top, it's like a metallic pink color and a forest green in the center. So the newer leaves definitely have that lighter green towards the middle of the leaf, but the older, more mature leaves get a lot darker green. Hopefully I can, oh yeah, you guys can see it there. And see how it almost looks like the light is blown out in this area? That's not blown out. That is metallic. This pink along the leaves is literally sparkly looking or metallic in real life. How cool is that? Such a neat looking plant. Usually I don't go for plants like this, especially inside my house, but there was just something about this one in particular. It was screaming my name. Absolutely loved it. And I've got a pretty good relationship with both of the main plant stores that I visit. And I think this is the one that I traded for a piece of my stained glass art. So I'm happy with that. I was super, super thrilled to go and get her. She's doing very well. She's pushing out new growth. I do want to chop one of these leaves off that was already eaten away or broken off by the time I picked it up, but that's totally fine. She's pushing out new growth. She's happy. Absolutely beautiful looking plant. Just such a unique looking pattern to that leaf. Stunning. I mean, it's Begonia, you know? I got a dog in here as my audience now, and I got plants on the ground. Luckily, none of my dogs or none of my pets will go after my plants, but it still makes me nervous. Okay, so next up, guys, we've got an absolute stunner. This is a black velvet alocasia. So, like I was talking about earlier, there are plants that will tolerate a little bit lower lights, and this is one of them. Of course, I give all of my plants the brightest indirect light that I possibly can. That's safe enough for each plant. But this one will definitely tolerate a little bit lower light, and it is a stunner. So of course, it's got those beautiful, thick velvet leaves and dark green, almost black looking flesh. Such a beautiful plant. And this is thick, you guys. Can you hear that? That is not the sound of a normal leaf. These guys are thick, hardy, beautiful velvet texture, and again, just that coloring, that deep, deep green and the lime green outside. The lime green stems and the veins is absolutely stunning. Just such a beautiful looking plant, and the shape of the leaves are just amazing. It's just stunning. And again, it's another one of those plants that's going to have that red on the underside, which I've been absolutely obsessing over lately. I don't know what my deal is, but I don't even know what to call these. This big flat leaf shape is just such a cool looking plant. Look at that, you guys. Is that not stunning? The thickness of the leaves and the difference of that dark green and lime green coloring between the flesh and the veins is so cool. And again, with that red underneath, that's a stunner. This is an absolute stunner. Oh, I could play with this plant all day long. Black velvet alocasia. Okay, so next up, let's talk about Calathia warscewiczii. So this is another stunner. Calathia warscewiczii is a beautiful looking plant. And once this thing becomes mature, big, and beautiful, it is a showstopper. So again, we're talking about a plant that has that stunning velvety texture, beautiful variegation within the coloring of the leaves from that dark green to the lime green. You can see this is the newest leaf to open up right here, and she's huge, but look at that color. That dark green outside, lime green center. This is a happy looking plant. She is doing fantastic, pumping out leaves. and just that stunning, stunning velvet texture. And again, she's got the red underneath, just such a beautiful looking plant. I cannot wait to see this leaf fully fold open. Again, this is another plant that you're going to want to give plenty of humidity to. If it doesn't have enough humidity, the leaves are going to really start to curl and you're going to have some trouble. I've constantly got a humidifier going next to this plant and next to my black velvet alocasia because they're sitting next to each other. But next to all of my calatheas, I've got a huge humidifier constantly keeping everything as humid as I can keep it. All calatheas are gonna want the humidity like that, and this is no exception, but it's absolutely worth the trouble. This thing is stunning. That beautiful dark green velvety texture next to the lime green is show-stopping. I can't wait for this guy to finish opening. Oh, and that texture, it is the softest leaf you will ever feel. This brand new one right here is just so soft. Absolutely stunning. Again, that maroon underside, and you've got maroon on the stems as well. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Calathia warscewiczii. All right, we're already down to 2 plants. And I will say with both of these plants, I picked up 2 of each because they are my favorite. So let's start with Freddie Calathea. So yes, this is a Calathea, and yes, they can be a little bit finicky, but I'd say that this can be a pretty hardy plant. Once you have this thing established, fluffy, and big, it's gonna do well. So again, a Calathea, you're gonna wanna give it humidity, you're gonna wanna give it bright and direct light, no direct sunlight, you don't wanna burn it. I mean, you could probably do a little bit of dappled sunlight here and there, but this thing's gonna want bright and direct light. You're gonna have to pay attention to its watering schedule. It's a Calathea, give it plenty of humidity, but this is my favorite. So I don't know why, but I have a thing for Freddie Calathea. I don't know what it is, just that it's the perfect shape leaf for me. It's the perfect variegation leaf for me. I love how it looks once it's matured and full and big and lovely and beautiful. I'm obsessed with the Freddie Calathea, so I just picked up a couple more of these baby plants, and they both are doing pretty well. They're pushing out plenty of new growth, so I'm really happy to have a couple new Freddie Calatheas. Nothing crazy special. I don't know why I'm obsessed with these. I don't know what it is. I absolutely love the Freddie Calathea. So again, just pay attention to humidity, pay attention to your watering schedule, your temperatures, and you'll be okay. Freddie Calathea, absolutely beautiful. I picked up a couple of these together. All right, guys, so I saved the best one for last. Y'all are probably already judging me in the comments if you know what this is. So this is a Calathea white fusion. And when I first saw this plant online, I think my heart just about stopped. I didn't think it was a real plant when I first saw this. This was before I even became like a bigger plant, indoor plant person. This thing is show-stopping, to say the least. So of course, you got true, stunning, white and green variegation. It looks like a watercolored or watercolor painted leaf. The Calathea white fusion. You've got this stunning white and dark green variegation, and it looks, like I said, almost watercolor or tie-dyed. Like, how is that a real plant? And the best part, underneath this purple. How cool is that? So this is the plant that I would not recommend to somebody that's A, not familiar with Calathea, or B, just not familiar with houseplants in general. So I picked up a couple of these because you don't see them very often because they can be so big. Just gonna be straight up. So just like all Calatheas, they're going to want that humidity. They're going to want that controlled temperature. They're going to want that important water schedule. You've just gotta be careful with all Calatheas, and for some reason, the white fusion Calathea is particularly finicky. So this one I am giving a ton of humidity to. So if you guys go into a store and you feel the leaves on the white fusion, you will be shocked with how delicate these leaves feel. So when I first was looking up and researching these online, I thought the leaves were a lot thicker, a lot hardier than they are. These are some of the thinnest leaves I've ever felt. They are super, super thin, but again, they're stunning. So because they're so thin, their ability to retain water is going to be a lot smaller than something obviously like a friggin' Hoya or whatever. So I imagine that's why they are so picky when it comes to their conditions. So I'm trying to give this guy as much humidity as possible. They are looking okay. She's growing very well. I'm happy with how she looks, but we'll see how we're getting on in about a month or two. I'm nervous, but I am confident. It's too beautiful. So yeah, Calathia White Fusion, absolutely stunning, stunning plant. Again, I picked up 2 of these. So Calathia White Fusion, last plant, absolutely stunning. So these are all of the plants that I've gotten within the last maybe month or so. So we'll see how we're getting on in a month from now, see how much everybody's grown, how everybody's doing. We'll see if I still have my Calathia White Fusions in a couple months. I don't know. Wish me luck, guys, with the Calathia White Fusion. I've got high hopes. It is a stunner. Fingers crossed for me. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. These are all of the plants that I picked up within the last month. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did, comment down below, let me know what do you want to see next. And I'll see you next time. Bye.